Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys back to my channel, and today we have a new style video for you. So today we're gonna have a Get Your Life chat. I don't like the name, so if you have name suggestions, let me know down below. I don't want to call them coffee talks, but that's essentially what this is. And I'm gonna try to break them up into different categories. So today is like self-development, just like self-awareness. I don't know what the categories are gonna be called either. Again, anybody that's creative with names, please give me some names for this down below. But I've been debating on doing these type of videos for a while now. I've just been afraid that my audience won't really like them. But considering that I made that promise to myself this year that I was gonna step out of my comfort zone and try to expand my channel and be more vulnerable and be more human, I'm going out and starting off with a bang. Today's topic is journaling. So a lot of people have heard me talk about journaling. It's something that I have chosen to do every day. For me, I write about a page a day. I'm not gonna show you guys too much, but this is my current journal. I thought that I lost some of the journal that I designed or decorated in December of last year. I definitely thought I lost that bad boy in the flood when my apartment flooded, but I found it, and except for like a couple pages, it actually didn't get too ruined. However, I found it after I had already started my new journal. So this is the journal that I had, and this is what I'm using now to do my YouTube scripts. You guys obviously can't see it, but yeah, like I have all the notes for today written on there. So yeah, I just want to talk about it. Journaling is just a way that you can like check yourself, basically. Like, I'm speaking about this from my personal views and how it helps me. I have my notes. So journaling helps you, like, if you write down how you feel or your thoughts or just something that's bothering you, like journaling helps you like recenter your brain, if that makes sense. It helps organize everything into a perspective that you didn't realize you had. Plus, journaling gives you the ability to see yourself from the outside, if that makes sense, because I've had days where like I felt lost and I felt defeated, and I just felt, you know, like, what's the point of trying? And so I started writing a lot more on those days and just writing out all of my feelings and trying to, you know, understand myself. And then I would finish and I would go back and read it, and it'd be like, wow, like, for example, last week I really was thinking about quitting YouTube and shutting down my business and just like being normal in a sense. But it was like, no, like, you've accomplished so much, like, don't look at it like that. But it's hard for me to hear that from someone else. It's very easy to check myself when I write that kind of stuff in my journal. So I want to talk about the pros. I don't know any cons, to be honest. It just requires you to be intentional and to set that habit ritual for yourself, to say that you are going to journal and you are going to take that time out for some self-reflection. So I can't think of any cons, but let's talk about some pros. Number one pro is it helps keep your thoughts organized. And that's what I was saying before. It's been a lot of times where I felt very discombobulated, I felt very lost, and I knew that I had so much that I had to do, so many thoughts that I had. And the easiest way to relieve that kind of anxiety that you build up in yourself is to write it down. I write it down in categories, I lay it out. Sometimes my journal entry is just me brain dumping. And that helps clear my mind. It gives me an opportunity to kind of breathe and be like, okay, that's not as bad as my mind was making it out to be. Another thing is, you know, if you want to work on your handwriting, journaling is a great way to work on your handwriting, or like your regular script or your cursive. Very, very good thing to do because you write every day. So it kind of like helps. It helps with both. Like, my handwriting on some days are atrocious. My handwriting on other days, I'd be like, oh girl, this looks like script. So like I said, helps with your handwriting. Another thing that you can do with your journal is that it helps you set intentions. So say, for example, for right now, I'm journaling in the morning. So after I fill out my bullet journal and see like my tasks and stuff for the day, I try to set intentions for how I'm going to go about the day. I acknowledge my feelings that I have. Very aware of whether or not it is a feeling that is hormonal, or a feeling that is validated, or a feeling that is bought up by something that doesn't exist. It sets my intentions and my moods and my goals for the day, and that's how I think it's a benefit. Another pro is, believe it or not, it relieves stress. For me, like I said, brain dumping relieves so much of the anxiety that I feel when I have so much to do, because it just lets me see everything that's in my mind. You don't realize how much or how powerful your thoughts are when they become overwhelming. I know people say like manifest that kind of stuff into your life. We'll talk about manifestation and all that stuff later on. We're gonna call those the spiritual chats. But in a way, the stress relief that I feel from journaling kind of helps me proceed with the day. I feel a sense of relief when I finish journaling, like my shoulders drop a little bit when I finish journaling, especially if it's one of those days where I have to just like dump everything, or if it's one of those days where I'm very emotional and I'm very upset. Like I finish journaling and I'm just like, okay, we're good. An amazing pro that you don't realize until after you start journaling is that this is your self-reflection time. I've gone back and read entries in previous journals when I was going through things, and I was like, whoo, child, like the Lord clearly delivers, because you were going through. It is like you pat yourself on the back like, oh snap, I made it. It sends like genuine reminders to you that like, oh snap, like I somehow got out of that. I don't know how I did it, but like I did it, and you have it chronicled in your journal. So you see your self growth. You see, oh wow, thing just beeped. You see all of that, and it's great to go back and look at yourself and be like, wow, I've grown, or like, wow, I see patterns. I see I have a pattern doing this or that. It's very nice. Another thing that journaling does for me is it helps with my depression and my anxiety. Things I don't normally talk about, and to be honest, I'm not comfortable enough to go into details about that particular aspect of my life. It's something that I work on every day, and until I feel like I have a better management of it, I will not be like going into details. But it does help me, because I have a tendency to spiral in my mind, like I was saying earlier. And if you're a person who feels down all the time, a person who can get that feeling of hopelessness often, it's good to write out your thoughts, because seeing it written down checks you. Well, personally for me, it checks me, and it makes me tell myself like, like that's not what this is, and you know it. Like fix that. That's not right. Like change your mindset. Or like, that's actually not true, Brittany. You're drawing this out and making this super dramatic when it's not. So again, it's a very good self-reflection tool. So I know I've said all this, and you're asking me, well, how the heck do I even start journaling? I've tried, I can't do it. This is so difficult. Like, I don't even understand how you can get a whole page. And this is how I did it. I don't know how other people started journaling, but what I did was, obviously, well, I'll hold up both of them. I picked a journal. I like decorating my journal. It makes it more personable. So I decorated my journal, and then I sit my journal in the place where I plan to journal every day. Something I didn't realize I was doing was like setting by putting your journal where you want to journal every day, you're setting that intention. By setting a specific time of day that you want to journal, again, you're creating that habit, you're creating that ritual where it's like, okay, every morning when I wake up, after I review my emails, I journal. For me, I don't have a time limit on how long I journal. I usually set myself to do a page. If I'm having a really bad day, then it goes like for pages, but I usually write about a page a day. But I didn't start off knowing exactly what to write. So the next step that you need to do is set a timer. Now, for some people, that might be a little tough. Start the timer small. Start it at 5 minutes. And, every week increase the time. But you'll notice that eventually you won't need a timer to keep writing. Your brain kind of even if you don't know where to start, just start writing, and your brain kind of just be like, it's kind of like, oh, she's writing, let me just get it all out. And you end up writing way more than you thought you would. And it's great. Like, I just recommend starting a timer. Start small, start whatever time you feel comfortable, commit to that time, and you'll watch yourself be able to do it longer. The next thing that I did hear this from multiple people. Once you set the timer and you start journaling, do not stop to edit. Do not stop for punctuation. Do not stop because you need whiteout. Just cross that bad boy out and keep going. I know some people probably have super pretty journals. I don't. Excuse me. Some pages are a mess and some pages aren't. I like to leave space for stickers. So that's all the kind of stuff that I do, but I don't stop journaling until my mind feels at ease. And in your case, if you're just starting out journaling, don't stop. Wow, sounds. Don't stop until until your timer goes off. And then when your timer goes off, the next step would be reread it. You'd be surprised at the kind of things you reveal to yourself when you journal. I write about everything in my journal. My God talks. Sometimes I write in my journal as if I'm talking to God himself. Again, we'll talk about that whole other time. But it's interesting to go back and read it. And if you want to, when I go back and reread my journal entries, that's when I add stickers and like I might highlight something that I didn't realize that I thought about regularly. I do a lot of like, again, self-reflection in my journal. So yeah, like I have stickers for journaling, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's how I started journaling. It's a process. Do commit to it. I think it's like 21 days to form a habit. I don't know how true that is anymore after reading Atomic Habits, but I will say if you create the intention and create a space for your journaling, like it should help you. And if you have to set reminders when you first start to journal at a specific time every day, do it. Just make it fit into your schedule. Make it a part of your life, and it'll become such an easier process. So another question that I always get is, what do you write about? How do you know what to write about? Like, what should I write about? And the answer to that question is anything you freaking want to. But I do have some like normal, we're gonna call them traditional topics. So the first one is setting intentions. I think I've said this a billion times today. Just setting intentions for the way that you want your life to go. And constantly reminding yourself of where you want to be in the manifestations and your prayers. Like always, those are the kind of things that I write in my journal all the time. I'm not saying I have a Sierra prayer because I really wish I did, but like write down your prayers. Sometimes it just kind of helps you center it. Like I said, I talk to God in my journal as if like that's also my prayer time, but again, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's another one. Scriptures, your spiritual journey. You can start something simple like ask about my day. Like, how was your day? Answer that question every day. What are 3 highlights of my day? What are 3 things that I can improve on from today? Those kind of questions are totally fine. They're what we call journal prompts, and it just gets your mind going into the right direction. You can write about your feelings. And again, these are all journal prompts. So obviously, Melanin Eclectic has some new journal prompt stickers. If you're looking to journal and get started, you can get them in clear or white. But I did do, we're going to have one where it's about your feelings, asking about your day, gratitude, and we have, I'm going to call it praises. So I think I might add one more. So if you see it here, that means I added another one. It'll be more of a spiritual, religious type journal prompt if you're looking for something like that. So yeah, I think we're going to do spiritual, business, feelings, and like general. We'll start with those. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys. I'm very nervous about posting this video, trying to be very transparent about my feelings. But I think these are good videos. If you guys like this kind of video and you guys want more talks, leave me a comment down below. If you got any name ideas, that would be great. But yeah, until the next video, guys, thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, guys, bye.
you.